not live.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Arc Arena on the campus of Baruch, 25th and Lex in the heart of Manhattan. Tonight we have a doubleheader. First, the Lady Cardinals from the York University will be facing off against your Lady Bearcats from Baruch. Alongside Jamal Chapman, I'm Dave Justin. How you doing tonight, Jamal?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm doing great tonight, David. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. A beautiful day here in New York, 55 and sunny in the first day of September. I'll take it all year long. But we got ourselves a nice conference matchup tonight, Jamal. I mean, a big game because it kicks off conference play and, obviously a little delayed based off of a little bit of transportation trouble with York College. We're about 2 minutes away from tip-off. But I think it's a big game for Baruch. You start off the season 0-2, two non-conference games, and this is a great way to, if you want to get into the tournament, I think Baruch's ladies team's best opportunity is going to be through the conference.
Yeah, always going ahead and winning in your conference is the most important thing. You want to make sure that you're winning the games in conference, so when it comes down to the standings at the end of the game, you're good to go. And most importantly, with an opportunity tonight at their first conference game, the Bearcats should have a good opportunity to see if they can pull this win out tonight.
Especially a couple losses early on in the season against non-conference opponents. Those are normally going to be your tiebreakers. However, we've seen this Baruch Lady Bearcats team, and I think they need to win in conference, and they need to win that conference tournament this year, I think, to get to the next level, which would be an NCAA NCAA tournament berth.
Yeah, and with a lot of new players this year, it's going to be a challenge for them to see if they're going to be able to make it this year. But with the roster that they have put together and with the leadership of Coach Kellyanne Barrett and Shannon Barrett as a senior this year, we'll look to see what they can do and produce this year.
And I think it's going to be big. Shannon Barrett coming in with that knee problem, has the right knee wrapped tonight. I think it's going to be big, coming off a game where she was only 1 of 8 from the field and 5 points against Purchase last night. You really want to see her come out and really start scoring early.
Yeah, it's always good to see a good bounce-back game from your star as you start off the game, but it's always good to see the players around her when she didn't play a good game to rally behind her, with Melinda Spyhu coming in with 15 points, shooting 6 for 12 from the field, and also adding 3 assists. Mm-hmm. So we'll look forward to see what the rest of the team is going to add to what Shannon's going to bring tonight.
And I think Spyhu could be a big X factor today, both on the offensive and defensive end. We are moments away from tip-off right here. We're going to send it over to the PA announcer for your starting lineups as well as your national anthem.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the CUNYAC Athletic Conference Women's Basketball game tonight in Arc Arena between the Cardinals from York College and your Baruch College Bearcats. At this time, we ask everyone to please stand while we start with the playing of our national anthem.
So tonight for the York College Lady Cardinals, starting at guard, number 1, Giovanna Rosado. Starting at the other guard, number 5, Nikesha Paul. Starting at forward, number 21, Karen Bellamy. Starting at the other forward, number 24, Shanice Cottigan. And finally, starting at center, number 25, Diamond Jackson. And for your Baruch Lady Bearcats, starting at guard, number 14, Daniela Arias. Starting at the other guard, senior, number 12, Jacqueline Thamakun. Starting at forward, number 15, Melinda Spayu. At the other forward, number 25, Maria Marianthopoulos. And finally, starting at center, as we mentioned in the pregame, number 31, Shannon Barrett. And Jamal, as we're moments away from tip-off right here, what do you think the Lady Bearcats really have to do? Let's say the opening 5 minutes of this game to really, kind of put their mark on the game and, kind of predicate how the game's going to go moving forward.
The Lady Bearcats have to come out with a lot of energy. They're going up against a very deep York College Cardinals women's team, and it's going to be very good for them to come out early and often and see if they can get the offense flowing ahead of time. And also be able to just play a good, solid game. They had a lot of turnovers the prior game. Even though they didn't come out with the win, they could keep the turnovers down and play together. They should look to have a great outcome tonight.
And I think we mentioned a little in the pregame, Shannon Barrett has the knee wrapped.
Right.
Going to play through it, of course. But her style of game. She hits the deck a lot. She, plays. She goes for the loose balls. Do you think this will impede her progress in going for these loose balls, or do you think this is just something maybe she'll have to overcome as the game goes on and she's going to continue to play her style?
I mean, mentally, you're always worried, and when you're thinking about, when you do have an injury, you just don't want to go to the floor every single time. So we may see her game maybe change a little bit, just thinking that, you have this knee injury, and you just want to be careful that, you don't hurt it any more than it has to be, and you could be out there on the court for the full game for your team. So I think mentally it may hurt her a little bit.
And they need her tonight because she's a leading scorer, leading rebounder from a year ago. So she'll take the tip against number 25, Diamond Jackson for the York Cardinals. Baruch in their home whites with their light blue on the side, and York wearing their road blacks with their white letters. And we are just about underway here at the Arc Arena. Baruch with the ball, and it'll be Arias into the front court for the Bearcats. She's covered tightly by Paul. Over to Thamakun, back to Arias. Swings it off to Spayu. Spayu up top, over to Thamakun. Thamakun's three-pointer right wing. That's good. Oh, they only said if it was on the line, it's going to be a 2. Nice outside jumper from Jacqueline Thamakun.
But good moving by the Bearcats early, getting over to Jacqueline Thamakun for the 2-pointer.
And now York has it. It's going to be number 1, Giovanna Rosado. Gives it up to Karen Bellamy. Tries to give it outside to Diamond Jackson. That ball's almost lost, though. Now it'll be Rosado inside to number 24, Cottigan. Cottigan back outside Jackson. Now it's Rosario, right wing 3. That's off glass. Rebound is fought for underneath between Paul and Spayu, and it's going to be a jump ball, and it'll stay with the York College Cardinals, and they'll be able to inbound from underneath.
Good way to fight there. You can see Shannon Barrett down there. Even with that knee injury, she's still moving good, and she's able to get the block out right there. And Spayu fighting for that ball, not giving up on that play.
Yeah, we'll see that a lot from her. She's definitely going to be an X factor on the defensive end, as Paul has it now up top for the York College Cardinals. As she gets the ball, she takes too many steps. It looks like she's holding her left arm, and she came away with that. I didn't see any contact there, but it might have been just a reach up for the ball there.
Right, and the Bearcats are coming out with a lot of energy right now. And so far, they're up right now 2-0.
So Arias has it in the front court for the Bearcats. Gives it off to Marianthopoulos. She'll drive, lose the ball, and it'll go off York, and it'll stay with Baruch underneath with 18 seconds remaining here in the shot clock. Spayu underneath to inbound for the Bearcats. Inbound to Marianthopoulos. She's guarded by Rosado. Thamakun again, straight on jumper, around and out. And that's going to be rebounded by York.
Even though that shot didn't go down, it's a good attempt to always stay aggressive and just put up that shot. They're going to start falling. Just got to keep shooting.
And I like some of the looks Thamakun has had here in the early going, as York has it in the front court with Giovanna Rosado. Nikesha Paul has it. She takes the pick from Jackson over to Rosado. Swings it quickly around. 3-ball by Bellamy is no good. And that's rebounded by Spayu, and it'll be Shannon Barrett to bring up to the front court.
Another good defensive set by the Bearcats as they have the ball in the front court. Let's see what they can do.
And Marianthopoulos has it now. Spayu drives right, goes with the right hand, off the glass, able to finish. She went right into the chest of Bellamy and able to finish there. Baruch lead 4-0.
Picking up where she's left off at the last game, and the Baruch Bearcats are aggressive right now, early and often on the offensive end.
Bellamy has it for York, gives it off to Rosado. She thinks 3, shoots 3. Doesn't hit anything. That's going to go out of bounds as Nikesha Paul tries to save it, but it'll go to Baruch. And a quick substitution is Victoria Salas and Diana Jacome come into the game for the York College Cardinals. Only 2 minutes in, and Coach Bittis wants to switch some things up.
Hey, when he doesn't see what he doesn't like, he just wants to go in there and see what he can start to oh, see.
Bounce pass now to Thamakun, right wing. Gives it to Spayu on the block. Oh, nice double clutch there by Spayu. Can't finish. Oh, nice play there by Bellamy, trying to save the ball. Trying to bounce it off of Spayu's leg, but she keeps it in bound. Now Marion Thopoulos has it left wing. She goes up. Rebounded again by Spayu, and they get a fresh 30. Will they slow it down? No, Spayu's going to be working, and it's going to be an offensive foul as she puts the right arm into Diana Jacome.
Yeah, Diana Jacome had the positioning right there, and he saw a little bit of the elbow extending by Spayu. And the ref was right there looking for it.
Right in front of the ref. I agree, Jamal. And also in that situation, when you're Melinda, you have that size advantage. Work the ball a little bit. You're still early in the shot clock. No need to turn. Maybe post up a little bit and try to get something going from the block. As Salas has it now in the front court. Jacome. Over to Bellamy. Bellamy drives. Right hand. Looked like she was blocked, I think, there by Shannon Barrett, who comes away with the rebound as well. And she'll bring it into the front court. Shannon Barrett with the left hand. Daniela Arias, corner three. Able to knock it down. Daniela Arias hits a three.
One thing you can see that the Bearcats are doing tonight, they're driving to the rim and they're kicking it out, looking for the open player every single time.
Oh, and they only gave her, I think they only gave her a 2 on that. It looked like she was behind the line. It'll be a kick ball on Daniela Arias as the inbound is attempted to Nikesha Paul. Jacome to inbound. Paul has it now. Bounce pass back to Jacome. And a jumper's off by Karen Bellamy. And it'll be a jump ball, and it'll go back to Baruch. And a nice quick start here for Baruch, especially at the defensive end where they've really closed out shots and secured their rebounds.
Closing out shots, getting rebounds, and playing well on the offense right now.
Spayu has it now. Bounce pass to Arias. Arias working on Paul. Gives it over to Spayu. Hand off to Shannon Barrett. Shannon Barrett right into the lane. Floater's no good. She gets fouled. And she'll go to the line for 2 shots. The foul's going to be on number 11, Victoria Salas, freshman from Midwood High School in Brooklyn.
And even though she's have the knee tape tonight, she still has good movement, and she was able to make it to the rim to draw that foul just now.
She was able to push off the right leg, too, which is very promising moving forwards. Then again, once that adrenaline starts running, as Shannon Barrett knocks down the first.
You don't feel a thing once the adrenaline starts running.
You'll feel it after the game. You'll feel it after the game, but right now
You'll be
she's
looking
good to
for
go.
that ice.
Well, we got good training staff here at Baruch, so Shannon toughens it out for a nice 40-minute game, and then she'll get iced down. If she's able to knock down both, and Baruch now have a nice 8-0 lead. And this is exactly what we were talking about. We want to see them start quick, and they've done exactly that. As Jacome gives it off to Paul for the York Cardinals. Paul drives, kicks it out to Bellamy. Bellamy bounce pass inside to number 35, Claudia Roden, who just checked into the game.
And you can see at every stop, once the York women get right by them, the Baruch players are closing out, and they're actually forcing a lot of turnovers right now.
As that ball went off Roden's leg, and now Baruch have it in the front court. Spayu over to Thamakun, gives it off to Arias, steal almost by Roden. And it'll stay with Baruch. Nice quick hands there by Claudia Rodens, junior from Brooklyn.
And a good way by Shannon Barrett to be able to close out and block off the defender from getting that ball.
Spayu has it now, almost bobbles it a little bit there. Takes the pick from Shannon Barrett. Gives it off to Arias. Now Barrett has it inside to Spayu. Nice little bounce, extra dribble to get the open layup and able to hit. Melinda Spayu starting the game off strong as York come the other way.
The Baruch Bearcats are playing like a cohesive team right now, passing and making all the necessary plays to have a 10-point lead right now.
And Shannon Barrett quickly pushes up to Danielle Arias, coming off a missed 3 from the York Lady Cardinals. Arias has it up top. She's covered by Paul. Thamakun thinks about the shot, looking for the pass inside, gives it back up to Arias instead. Arias getting covered by Paul. Arias into the lane. Marion Thopoulos takes too many steps before she puts the ball on the ground. And it'll go back to the York Cardinals. And that's something they're definitely going to have to avoid, Jamal. Those turnovers are going to be costly, especially against the York team that can go, 10 women deep.
Yeah, right there, it looked like she wanted to shoot the ball, but it just seems like when the defender came to close out, she just thought to go maybe drive on that one. But like Coach Barrett was just saying, just shoot the ball, just put it up and see what happens.
So with 5:22 remaining, the Lady Bearcats lead the York Cardinals 10-0. You're watching Baruch basketball live on YouTube channel Baruch Athletic Fan. Don't forget to tune in a week from tomorrow. It's going to be a doubleheader again starting at 2 p.m. The women play Old Westbury, and then the men play Moravian College. It's going to be here at the Arc Arena. If you can't come out, definitely tune in. It'll be, once again, broadcast to you live this Saturday, a week from tomorrow, December 9th. So, Jamal, you have to like what the Bearcats are doing here in the early going. Coming out 10-0 lead, really playing some solid defense, and also really creating open shots, as you see here in the early going. They're shooting a nice 57% and holding, obviously York hasn't scored a point yet, but 0 for 6 as Arias able to tip away that dribble there.
An early good start, builds just a lot of confidence for your team. So it was good to see the Bearcats come out with a lot of fight in the early.
Ooh, nice move there by Roden, but they said on the hop step it was a travel. That looked clean from this area,
yeah.
But that's why we don't wear. That's why we're not reffing the game. We're just calling it.
At first, I thought it was a foul, but then when you looked up and seen that it was a travel. But that's the Bearcats once again forcing the turnovers.
As the Bearcats turn over on the other end, ill-advised pass from Arias to Spayu, and now Roden has it for York. Gives it up to Bellamy. Quickly swung around all the way to Salas. Salas's three is off, but Roden gets the rebound, able to get a nice offensive board. Ball's fought loose underneath. It's able to go off glass. And Diana Jacome able to hit. 10-2 Baruch lead with 4.5 remaining here in the first quarter. Arias has it for the Bearcats. She's covered by Bellamy. And Bellamy a little too aggressive on the defensive end and a little bit of reach and foul. It'll be Baruch's ball on the far side. What I also like, Jamal, in the early going, and it's great that they've jumped out to this lead, is they're not settling for the three. They haven't even taken a three-pointer yet, Baruch, and now they're waiting for that open shot. They're getting not only shots inside, but they're getting little mid-range jumpers that are open and not necessarily just forcing that three, which I think has been a little bit of a problem in the last few games, especially when you're shooting less than 30% from deep on the season.
Yeah, a lot of times you may just want to settle for the shot because it's there, but always working the ball around to find the best shot is the most important thing.
And I think that was another great example. You find Shannon Barrett at the free throw line able to knock that down. Give the Bearcats a 12-2 lead as now Bellamy's in the paint for York. Ooh, nice floater, one-step floater move by Bellamy and able to knock it down. 12-4 and spot right corner. Barrett has it. She drives. Floater again with the left. No good. Rebounds fought for. It's going to be Roden. Comes away with a York and trying to push it up to Bellamy. That pass is intercepted by Danielle Arias that definitely didn't have enough on it in order to get it up court. As Spayu gets into the paint. Kicks it out to Thaumakoon. Thaumakoon's mid-range jumper is no good. But Spayu gets the rebound. Thaumakoon gives it off to Arias. Out to Marianthopoulos. Now to Barrett. Corner three. No good. Rebounded by Diana Jacome for York. And it's given up to Paul into the front court. Hands it off three-pointer by Salas. Off back rim. No good. Rebounded by Thaumakoon. And Shannon Barrett will slow it up in her own half. Arias able to bring it across half court. Thaumakoon, dangerous pass there by Arias. Spayu has it now. Now Shannon Barrett left wing three. No good, and Roden comes away with the rebound. Oh, nice steal there by Arias.
And one.
And the foul, and Claudia Roden, very dangerous play right there, giving an ill-advised pass, but then you definitely can't foul right there, putting Arias to the line and potentially giving her a three-point play.
But good patience by Arias to be there to get the steal and actually get the shot up, get the foul, and have an opportunity for a three-point play.
Giovanna Rosado and Mayan Charles check into the game for the York College Cardinals. And Claudia Roden is definitely shaking up after that one. And Claudia Roden had a look like she took one to the forehead.
Yeah. But she's a trooper, and she walks off the court, with the train, and it's going to be a 10-2 right now.
And it'll be Daniela Arias now at the line to get the old school three-point play. Into the game is Juliet Matthews checking in for Claudia Roden. Arias off on that, and it'll be Rosado coming with the rebound, and now Paul into the front court for the Cardinals. She goes right into the lane. Kicks it out to Salas. Salas drives. Ball's tipped around. It's going to be Paul. Baseline jumper is able to knock it down. 14-6 Baruch lead. 2:45 remaining here in the first.
The York Cardinals are starting to find their way right now, hitting the last 2 out of 3 shots.
As Damakun's corner three is off. Salas on the rebound. Picks up her dribble, though, and that's always dangerous. You never want to do that, especially in the backcourt where you have to get it across the line. You definitely don't want to pick up your dribble there, when it's only a one-on-one coverage, too. And Paul again from the baseline, no good. Rebound is fought for, and it's going to come away. Baruch's going to come away with it. It'll be Arias, and she gives it off to Shannon Barrett. And she has an opportunity now to bring it up as she's not really picked up, and as she gets picked up by a three-point line. Blows past the defender. Spyu now. Arias, left wing three. Able to knock it down. Daniela Arias hits the three. 17-6 Baruch lead coming in on 2 minutes remaining here in the first.
5 points for Daniela Arias out the gate. She's looking very good on the court right now.
Rosado has it now. Gives it off to Salas. Over to Matthews. Matthews swings it off to Rosado. Corner three. Off too strong. Offside rim. Rebounded, though, by the Cardinal. Gets a fresh shot clock. Paul out to Salas again. Salas going to fire. Off rim again, and that's Spyu. And wow, nice play there by Spyu. Able to throw it off Mayan Charles' leg, and it'll go back to Baruch as number 25, Maria Marianthopoulos, checks it back in for the Bearcats.
Good way by Spyu right there on that play. Just to track down the rebound and realize she's going out of bounds. Get it off the leg of the Cardinals defender. And now the Bearcats will have the ball and enjoying a comfortable 11-point lead.
Melinda Spyu has it now. Up to Shannon Barrett. Shannon Barrett's going to slow it up. Back over to Spyu. Inside to Arias at the free throw line. That's a jumper there by Spyu, right wing, no good. And now Rosado quickly the other way for York. Tries to give it in the middle. Ball's tipped away by Daniela Arias. Now Arias has it straight on three. No good. Rebounded there by York. And Paul bring it into the front court. Paul almost loses it. Give it out to Rosado. She thinks about the three. It's really over to Matthews at the free throw line. Air ball. And that's going to go out of bounds and stay with Baruch. Baruch leads 17-6 with 47.5 seconds remaining, Jamal. And they're playing well here defensively in this first quarter.
No, the Bearcats, you got to really be happy with the production you're seeing right now on both ends of the court.
Arias has it up top. And York just looking a little discombobulated here at the defensive end. Arias gives it into Spyu. Over to Barrett, left wing three. That's good, able to knock it down. 20-6, Baruch lead. Off to that very hot start.
And that's back-to-back threes for the Bearcats tonight. One from Daniela Arias and just now from Shannon Barrett.
And now the drive by Salas. It's going to be an offensive foul. She went in left baseline. And I believe Lisette DeBoard took it right in the chest and able to draw the charge.
Good way to stand. This is a good way to stand your ground right there. Get ready to lay out for the charge and give up her body and was willing right there.
And this could be the last shot of the quarter. Off by Spyu. It's going to be a full court heave now for York, and that's going to be no good. Nikesha Paul on the full court heave. But after one, Baruch 20, York College Cardinals 6. You're watching Baruch Basketball live on YouTube channel Baruch Athletic Fan.
For the love of the game, but for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure.
For the love of the game, but for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
And welcome back. We are at the Arc Arena on the campus of Baruch College, heart of Manhattan. Baruch ladies lead 20-6 after the first quarter. And Jamal, we could not have wished for a better start for this Bearcats team that lost in a close game last night against SUNY Purchase. Tonight come out with a nice 20-6 lead here in the first quarter.
No, it's always great to see the Bearcats come out and be aggressive. We got to get Danielle Arias contributing with 7 points, and as well as Shannon Barrett, each having 1 3-pointer currently. And also, it's good to see Jacqueline Thamakun get some shots up, and as well as Melinda Spyu playing really good on the defensive end, and as well as being aggressive on the offensive end.
Well-rounded. I mean, you're talking about a first quarter. She had 4 points, 4 boards, and 3 assists in 10 minutes of action so far. And, you know, obviously as a freshman, didn't know much about her coming into the season. Spoke to Kellyanne Barrett a little bit before the season, and she said in practice, I don't think she realizes yet, but she's going to be really good on this team because she does some of the little things that maybe won't show up on the score sheet at the end of the day, but really help this Lady Bearcats team.
And you can see right now tonight as the Bearcats enjoy a 14-point lead, the whole team right now are playing playing as a collective, and they're playing really good.
Now Nikesha Paul has it for the Cardinals up top. Gives it off to Sala. She's covered tough by Arias, and the ball's ripped away by Spyu. Spyu quickly into the front court. She'll go right into the paint and then bring it back out. Wild pass over to Shannon Barrett. Shannon Barrett's jumper. Short, that's off rim. And Nikesha Paul comes away with it quickly into the front court for the Cardinal. Nice play there by Nikesha Paul. Under scoop layup, it looked like, around Daniela Arias, and she'll go to the line for the 3-point play. And I think this is really what Baruch has to avoid here, Jamal, is not letting up a big run to start the second quarter. Kind of, you know, calm the storm a little bit and then keep the spread as it is, because, you know, a 12-point game could really come late into the game will, you know, definitely be a nice advantage going late into game time, as they're off on the free throw, but York's able to get their own rebound off glass, no good. And Danielle Arias will bring it into the front court. Her pass is almost thrown away. Nice play there by Melinda Spyu to let it go out of bounds. And it'll be Baruch basketball right in front of us.
But like you definitely said a minute ago, David, just keeping the Cardinals from not getting out to a good run. You see a little bit just in the halfway through the first period how they were able to get 6 points, and you don't want them to get started going early here in the second period.
Especially sloppy fouls that are going to, you know, lead to free points at the free throw line.
Right.
As Bellamy fouls Spyu right there, and again, it'll be Baruch's ball right in front of the York bench. And a pass there for Daniela Arias, tipped away there by Nikesha Paul, and it'll stay with Baruch right in front of the scorer's table. Dangerous pass there. A safer option. And a turnover there by Baruch. They're not even able to get the ball in inbounds, and these are going to be free possessions here for York at the other end.
Yeah, York is turning up the pressure, playing a lot differently on defense than they were in the first period. Let's see if the Baruch Bearcats could get back to what they were doing in the first period.
Rosado has it, gives it over to number 21, Karen Bellamy. Her shot is no good. And we've seen a few air balls from the York College team in the early going.
I don't know if that was a shot or she was looking for a defender, one of her players to cut on that play right there.
Definitely not on the same page either way.
Mm-hmm.
So Arias has it, gives it over to Shannon Barrett. She's going to drive. Gives it off to Marion Thopoulos. Backs it, bounce pass back out. Spyu on the floater, able to knock it down. Nice move there by Melinda Spyu. And Jamal, you know, obviously first game you're doing this year. What do you like from Melinda Spyu here in the early going?
So far, you have to like the aggression. Not settling for shots, getting into the paint every single time, and just trying to remain aggressive. You know, like you said a minute ago, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. She's playing all over the court right now and trying to do it in every little way.
And I think she's had very active hands on the defensive end of the floor, which, you know, tipping passes, getting in passing lanes. Even if the pass gets completed, it's a little bit more like disrupting the passing lane and making them force, you know, a bounce pass when a chest pass is not available and so on and so forth.
Right.
Just a little bit disruption and getting York out of their, you know, their rhythm.
Right, but it's just good to see the Bearcats come out the gate very strong so far, being up by 14 points. getting 22, score being 22-8 right now, and they're playing a well-rounded game, and everybody is contributing right now.
They're holding right now York College to 22% from the field. You're watching Baruch basketball live on YouTube channel Baruch Athletic Fan. The Lady Bearcats lead 22-8 with 8:26 remaining here in the second quarter. And it'll be York ball when we come back from this timeout. And Nikesha Pohl bringing it to the front court for the York College Cardinals. Gives it off to Matthews, quickly back to Paul. Over to Rosado, that's an NBA three. Off rim, no good. DeBoard gets the rebound and she's hit. And it's gonna be the Bearcats ball. Another opportunity here for the Bearcats, maybe get a little 2-for-1 action after coming down and able to hit last time out.
And DeBoard coming off the bench, taking that charge a couple minutes ago and coming down with a tough rebound right there.
Shannon Barrett gives it off to DeBoard inside. Matthews able to steal it. And it'll be Bellamy into the front court. Bellamy gives it off to Paul. She thinks about the shot. Instead drives, tries to kick it out. Melinda Spayu on the steal, though, and she's going to try to go coast to coast right here. High off glass, off rim twice, and no good. Nice move there by Melinda Spayu. Unable to finish, though, as Karen Bellamy comes away with it for the York College Cardinal.
But she's remaining aggressive on every play.
Rosado, interior pass to number 22, Mayan Charles. That's blocked by Shannon Barrett. Goes out of bounds, and it'll stay with York College underneath with 7:36 remaining.
Good way to remain active by Shannon Barrett, being able to tip that ball as the York player was going up for the shot.
Allison Ahmed checking into the game as Mayan Charles comes to the bench. Inbounded by Paul. Paul gives it up top to Rosado, quickly swung around. Now that's right inside to Ahmed, who just checked in. She's short on the layup, though. And then the ball is fought with on the ground. And it's going to go to Baruch on the jump on the possession arrow. And nice hustle play there by the Bearcats. And now Daniela Arias has a chance to walk it up and set up the play. Shouted out by Coach Barrett. She's double teamed just as she comes across the timeline. Now Marion Thopoulos has it back to Arias. Arias to Spayu. Now Arias gets it back. Right into the paint. Nice move there. A little, almost a Euro step there. And unable to finish, though, a little too strong off back rim. As Karen Bellamy is fouled as she comes across the timeline. And it'll be York College basketball right in front of us. So with 7:06 remaining, Baruch leads 22-8. Checking to the game now for York is Shiana Rocher. Nikesha Paul over to Rosado now. Rosado back to Paul. York quickly moves the ball around the perimeter. Ball is out to number 14, Shiana Rocher. No good on the jumper. Yet number 21, Karen Bellamy, able to get the offensive board, put it back, and she's fouled. The foul is going to be on number 14, I believe, Daniela Arias. Excuse me, sorry. The foul is going to be on number 34, Lisette DeBoard. And Karen Bellamy has an opportunity to get the and one. Back rim on the free throw, and Melinda Spayu able to bring it up to court for Baruch. She drives past Rosado now into the front court. Double team there, able to blow past the second defender. Ooh, can't finish too hard off the rim. And the foul's going to be against York as Spayu hits the deck. And the foul's on number 5, Nikesha Paul. Jacqueline Thomakun checking back to the game for Lisette DeBoard. Shannon Barrett to inbound underneath for the Bearcats. Up to Arias. Arias covered by Rosado, gives it up to Spayu. Quickly swung around to Barrett. Barrett's three. Too hard, but it's going to be Spayu again on the rebound as it's full force. Nikesha Paul that takes it away, and she's going to quickly go into the front court. Nice, nice move there by Karen Bellamy. Pump fake, able to get the defender in the air, and as she does, she drives past her. Doesn't make the basket, able to get fouled and go to the free throw line. And Jamal, we've seen them, York College, slowly claw back into this game.
Yeah, I mean, on those last couple of possessions, you see them be very aggressive and get to the rim. On that play, you have Karen Bellamy being fouled by Daniela Arias. But I like the fact that the Bearcats are being very aggressive and not just giving up easy shots and making them earn them at the free throw line right now.
Bellamy's able to knock down the first. And if she hits this one, it'll be a 6-2 run to start the quarter for the York College Cardinals.
Yeah, but if the Bearcats can just weather the storm and just match their point production, they should be able to be good going into the halftime. The 6 minutes remaining in the 6.5 minutes remaining in this
I think
game.
these next 3 minutes are crucial for the Bearcats because this game could easily be tied in the next 3 minutes, or it could easily be, a nice 15-point blowout going into the half as Arias has a straightaway three. That's no good, and they've been settling for the deep shot more in the second quarter, like something they were not doing in the first. Ooh, nice play there. Oh, wow. Ball's bounced around, and Rosado comes up with a loose ball.
I don't know.
And it'll be 22-14, and now York only down 8, and you can hear their bench starting to get a little noisy and starting to get some life back into the game. Arias double teamed and she's across half court.
And they're turning up the pressure right now on the Bearcats.
And there's going to be another turnover as the possession arrow is going to go back to York.
It was interesting what you said a minute ago. These next 3 minutes are going to be crucial. And just now we seen the York Cardinal women just go ahead and put a lot of pressure on the Bearcats. Even on that last play when they had the outlet pass.
Once again, Melinda Spy able to get her hand in the entry pass. And then makes a dangerous, almost half-court pass, trying to find Jacqueline Thamakun underneath. Even if she completed that pass, Jamal, it looked like she was going to be double-teamed underneath in the post. So maybe not the best transition breakout pass, in that situation. Shannon Barrett has it now. Thamakun back to Barrett. Arias has it up top for the Bearcats. Moving the ball left to right. Marion Thopoulos back to Arias. Marion Thopoulos again. Ooh, almost throws that away. Looked like a little bit of could have been a double dribble there as well for Marion Thopoulos. Arias is three. No good. Rebounded by Barrett off rim. Can't finish that layup, and York will go the other way, trailing by 8. And the foul's there by number 15, Melinda Spyu.
On that play, that was a good foul there just to slow down the game a little bit. The Bearcats, on that last offensive possession, was really feeling the pressure from that York zone.
But it's also dangerous because now Karen Bellamy goes to the free throw line with a chance at a 1-and-1. And they have the opportunity here to potentially cut the lead to 6 for the Bearcats. But she's off on the first. And Melinda Spyu will take a seat after that being her third personal. Yeah, only with half the second quarter remaining. So, only 2 more fouls. She's allowed in the game. It's dangerous to have the 3 this early.
And even though she's have a lot of great production on the court tonight, it's good to get her out the game to save it for the second half.
And Bellamy's 0 for 2 from the free throw line. Baruch really needed that. And Arias now quickly into the front court. Shannon Barrett finds her on the outlet pass. And Shannon Barrett will slow it up. She's covered by Allison Ahmed. And now Arias going against Paul. Out to Marion Thopoulos. Over to Barrett. Barrett's left wing 3. Off front rim. Rebounded by DeBoard, though. And Baruch have an opportunity to slow it down. I suggest they don't rush it. And now Barrett has it. She goes right against Bellamy. Into the paint. As both, it looks like Ahmed and Barrett hit the deck. And it'll be a 2-shot foul for Shannon Barrett. And once again, Shannon Barrett getting up slowly. We talked about it already with the knee wrap. Anytime she hits the deck, I think, the Baruch Collective are going to be holding their breath.
Yeah, Shannon Barrett's a tough player. And she's making her way through that pain and muscling it up for the Baruch Bearcats right now.
And the first one goes around and out, and you can see she seems to be walking okay, though, as she takes a few steps there on the knee. So that's a good sign for the Lady Bearcats.
It was a tough spill just now, but, Shannon's always been a tough player for the Bearcats all through her career here, and I wouldn't expect anything less from her.
Ooh, and then York turned over right there. Dangerous pass there by Karen Bellamy, and it looked like it was almost Paul and Jacome trying to figure out exactly who that pass was intended to. Arias has it now in the front court for Baruch. Working on Jacome, back up to Arias. Now Thamakun has it. She's double teamed. And the ball will stay with Baruch, but that's probably about the 5th jump ball that we've seen so far here in the first half.
Yeah, the Bearcats are looking for a basket right now.
I would say a lot of it is York tying up Baruch and able to get that jump ball, able to steal a few possessions away from the Bearcats. It'll be Arias now to inbound for Baruch underneath.
And the Bearcats really need to find an answer right now on the offensive end.
Thamakun over to Arias. That's stolen by Bellamy, though. That was easily read as Bellamy goes with the right hand, able to finish. And now Baruch's lead only 6, 22-16. And Baruch only scored 2 points here in the quarter. Just coming in on the 4-minute mark remaining here in the half. Now Thamakun has it. It's been Barrett. Barrett over to Marianthopoulos. Marianthopoulos corner jumper. That's off. Arias on the rebound. And her foot lands on the baseline, so it'll go back to York with an opportunity to really cut it to a 4-point game. And if you're Coach Barrett, you got to be a little bit worried about your offensive, after scoring 20 in the first quarter, about your offensive output here in the second.
It's just been real tough right now. The Bearcats only have scored 2 points this quarter and only scored since the 8:50 mark in the beginning of this period. It's almost a 5-minute drought. So they really need to find an answer on the offensive side, and it's good that they have the possession now and see what they can do right here.
And they averaged a bucket a minute in the first. As Barrett has it now, and Thamakun inside to the zone. Now Arias has it. She's covered by Jacome. Back up to Barrett. Barrett, free throw line jumper. Off front rim and in. Nice shot there by Barrett. Gets a little bit of the home court roll. And it'll extend the lead back up to 8.
They answered the call on that one, ending that drought. Let's see if they can add some more points towards the end of this quarter.
Nice bounce pass inside by Bellamy to Ahmed, but she's unable to finish. And Shannon Barrett comes away with it as she quickly pushes it into the front court. Shannon Barrett blowing right past Jacome. Off glass, no good, and Shannon Barrett hits the deck. And Shannon Barrett that time seems to be hobbling just a little bit. And the foul is going to be on Lisette the board, which isn't terrible because they were going to play 4-on-5 defense with Barrett being down at the far end. You could see her limping back. And it's going to be a full timeout for Baruch with 2:59 remaining. So with 2:59 remaining, Baruch lead 24-16. You're watching Baruch basketball on YouTube channel Baruch Athletic Fan. Do not forget to tune into our next broadcast Saturday, December 9th, a doubleheader at 2 p.m. The women's team, again, will be playing the Old Westbury at 2 p.m. And then after that at 4 p.m., the men will be playing Moravian College. And you also see the men coming up here tonight as the second game of our back-to-back doubleheader as they play the men's York College team, also kicking off conference action for them.
Yeah, that one looks to be a good one. But tonight's game for the Bearcats, Scott, we talked a minute ago, 4 points in the quarter for the Bearcats. They're looking to see if they could actually finish off this quarter with a strong offensive production. They've been able to put up 4 points. They've been able to hold the York women Cardinal to only 10 points, which is a good thing. But being able to add some points before this quarter is over could only be to the benefit of the Bearcats.
Yeah, I agree. And, it's definitely a little bit of a disappointment of a quarter so far. Offensively, I'd say defensively, letting up 10 points in a quarter is really, really good. But, when you're only putting out 4 and you had a, 14-point lead that's now cut to 8, it could be dangerous mentality going into the second half.
Yeah, it's just been, rough right now because one of their main scorers tonight, Melinda Spy, who has 3 fouls right now, had to go to the bench. So we're going to see if the other Baruch Bearcat players could step up and contribute for the team tonight.
Yeah, Spyu on the early going, 6 points, 7 boards, but really on the defensive end, active hands. We talked about it earlier. It has 3 steals. As Jacome unable to hit the second free throw, but she gets her own rebound, 24-16. Baruch lead, 2:52 remaining. Bellamy pass inside, deflected by Arias, but Jacome comes away with it. Bellamy's made a few dangerous passes we've seen tonight for the York Cardinals. And Nikesha Paul, offensive foul. Nice play there by Jacqueline Thamakun, and as Baruch will get the ball back. And it's been just a very, sloppy quarter from both sides. You're looking at a 10-4 game, but you're looking at a bunch of turnovers.
Yeah, this quarter you have the York Women College with 6 turnovers and the Bearcats with only 5.
Now DeBoard has it, and it's going to be an offensive foul against Daniela Arias. It looks like Rocher. Rocher got hit in the face there with an elbow as Arias tried to come into the paint and create a shot opportunity. Ooh, nice spin move there by Ahmed. Can't finish, though, as it goes off back rim, and now Shannon Barrett have it for the Bearcats. Quickly move left to right. Shannon Barrett hand off to Arias. Over to Thamakun. She thinks about the shot, but gives it off to Marion Thopoulos. Back up to Arias. Swings it around to Shannon Barrett. Barrett able to drive. And Arias right back to Marion Thopoulos. This York defense is going quickly left to right, able to keep up, and now Marion Thopoulos has the open jumper. That's off back rim. Rebounded by Lissette the board. She's boxed in on the double team. Throws a wild pass, but Danielle Arias able to come away with it and reset up the offense for Baruch. Shannon Barrett's jumper is no good. Not enough arc on that one. It seemed too much of a line drive. Bellamy brings it into the front court for York. Not a little bit of a Euro step, one-footed shot. Bellamy gets her own rebound, unable to hit on the second, though. And Shannon Barrett quickly into the front court. Marion Thopoulos. It's going to be a travel, and it'll go back to York as Karen Bellamy comes walking back down the court, a little shaken up from her layup opportunity.
Yeah, man. Right now, the Bearcats are staying aggressive. But on those last couple plays right there, they got to figure out a way to get a shot.
Especially playing 5-on-4 on the offensive end. Karen Bellamy was a little slow to get back there after being banged up on that layup opportunity. Now Rocher able to knock it down, a three, and that was the first three I think hit by either team tonight. Oh, excuse me, actually Shannon Barrett and Arias have one. First three tonight for the York Cardinals. And Danielle Arias brings it into the front court. Bounce pass to Thamakun as she's fouled. Foul's going to be on number 14, Rocher. And it'll send Thamakun to the line for a 1-and-1. And if you're York, that's just sloppy. I mean, you cut it back to 5, and now you have an opportunity to give Baruch some free points here at the line. The first one's off by Thamakun. Then again, the way both these teams have been shooting from the free throw line today, a combined 28%, is maybe not a bad idea to get some of these players to the free throw line and see if they can actually knock down some of these shots. And now Bellamy into the front court, gives it up to Salas. And there seems to be a clock. There seems to be a little bit of technical difficulty with the clock. It wasn't running in time, so we have 38 seconds remaining on the game clock and 19 seconds here for York to get a shot off, which may leave Baruch with the final shot here in the first half.
And if they get a defensive stop right here, that'll be a good way to close out this quarter.
Definitely like to see the lead extend a little bit more than 6, especially after being up 14 in the first.
Yeah, and only being able to put up 5 points. It's just not the offensive production that we saw from the first period from the Bearcats.
And York's shot is off, and it'll be Baruch coming now with no shot clock. 22 seconds remaining. Arias has it in the corner for Thamakun. Arias swings it over to Barrett. Barrett's left wing three. That's been the shot she's been looking for, and she's able to knock it down and extend the lead to 9 with 10 seconds remaining here in the half. It'll be Bellamy quickly into the front court for York. Thamakun on her. Bellamy step back three. Looked good. No good. Thamakun on the rebound, and it'll be a jump ball. And it'll stay with York, and they may have an opportunity to get one final shot off here.
Yeah, even though they have this one opportunity, good way for Shannon Barrett to come back down and hit that three and to extend the lead of the Bearcats to 9.
Bounce pass into Bellamy. Bellamy quickly turns, fires, no good. The shot before, the step back that Bellamy was off on, looked good from our angle, but it was a very nice looking shot and unfortunately a little strong. But that'll do it at half. After the first half here at the Arc Arena, Baruch lead 28-19. You're watching Baruch Ladies Basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Athletic Fam. So Jamal, great first quarter for Baruch. sloppy second, and I think you could see the big difference is the turnover battle. You know, you were forcing a lot of turnovers from York in the first quarter. In the second quarter, not really the same game, and York was able to maybe get some of the shots that they were looking for in the first, but rather were able to hit him in the second.
And even more, when it came down for the Bearcats, getting away from a little bit of the things they did in the first period where they were driving to the lane, settling for some two-point shots, and not shooting a lot of three-pointers. You know, a lot of the second period was filled with a lot of three-pointers, but the York Cardinals coming in and playing tough defense, trapping the guards of the Bearcats a lot of times and forcing the ball out of their hands.
We saw it a lot at the midcourt area.
Right.
The half-court trap. That's been big for York in the second quarter.
And even when they got into the middle of the court and they had their zone up there, you know, the Baruch Bearcats, but they couldn't fall, they weren't dropping. But as it stands right now, they enjoy a 9-point lead, and they can go into this half, see what they can work on, and come back for the second half and see if they can close out this game.
And to your point with the York, I was very impressed by the York defense in the second half. I think laterally they were getting left and right a lot quicker than they were in the first quarter, and I think that was also a big reason why they were able to turn it around and, you know, start playing better at the defensive end, holding Baruch to 8 points in the second quarter. Shannon Barrett, we talked about her before the game, coming in with the knee wrap. What have you seen from her so far, and, you know, how do you think she's been playing, especially with the knee injury?
I mean, so far she's been playing like how she normally plays, you know, tough, you know, defending and being aggressive on the offensive end. She currently has 12 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists, and she's keeping her production up there for the team and not making any excuses, you know. When it comes to being aggressive and hitting the deck, getting back up and muscling through the injury and just continuously playing the way she normally plays.
Speaking of Shannon Barrett, you had the opportunity to sit down with her last week and kind of discuss what her expectations were for the season.
And we'll be going to that interview right now.
Good evening, everyone. I am Jamal Chapman, and alongside with me is Shannon Barrett, forward for the Baruch Women's Bearcats. How you doing tonight, Shannon?
I'm doing pretty well.
Great.
Can't complain, you know.
Great.
Yeah.
So now, right now is a brand new season. You guys have a lot of expectations ahead of yourself. What expectations have you set for yourself this current season?
For myself, you know, I'm just trying to be a good leader because I'm one of the seniors on the team, and we have a lot of younger players on our team, so I just want to set good examples for everyone on our team to, you know, just go out there, have fun, and everyone enjoy playing the game.
Nice. Well, now you're coming off a season where you were voted CUNYAC Defensive Player of the Year. Tell me a little bit about what that meant for you last season.
That was a big surprise for me. I was not expecting to have that at all because I was definitely not a defensive player as I was little. But I mean, it was good. It was a good feeling to get an award like that because that's not something you really expect from yourself. But I couldn't have done it without my team who helped me, so that's it.
So shouts out to having a good team around you.
Yeah, it is about having a good team.
Nice. So now, after averaging a double-double last season with 13 points and 11 rebounds, what are some things that you've been working on in the off-season to improve on your game?
Well, now that we have like less players that really aren't going to like be big on the boards and I'm the biggest player, I've really been trying to get like, I want to say, stronger in the post, which isn't really easy, but you know, I'm trying to get better on defense and better on rebounding, along with being able to score as well.
Nice, nice. And finally, you know, you're entering your final season as a Baruch Bearcat. So what has been your best memory thus far as a Bearcat?
My best memory is honestly, since I got here, like the team that I've been with has been the best team I've ever been in my life. The atmosphere we bring, like the connection we all have, it's just an amazing experience to be on a team like that. So my whole experience at Baruch has been a great time.
Well, that's great, and thank you for your time tonight.
It starts right when you hit the court. You imagine your finest moment. The game-winning shot that gets you to the dance, a monster dunk or no-look pass, and cutting down the net. Sports lets us dream of our own success and prepare us for our finest moments on and off the court.
For the love of the game. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
It starts right when you hit the court. You imagine your finest moment. The game-winning shot that gets you to the dance, a monster dunk or no-look pass, and cutting down the net. Sports lets us dream of our own success and prepare us for our finest moments on and off the court.
And welcome back. Moments away from the second half, about 4 minutes away, and Baruch leading 28-19. But you know, you gotta like the lead, Jamal. But you can't like the execution because they were up 20-6, only putting up 8 points in that second quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go from putting up 20 points then only producing 8 points, you definitely have to figure out and get back to what you were doing back into the first period so you can stay with that consistency all throughout the game. But, basketball is a game of, runs. So we look to see what they could do coming out of this halftime period and see if they could come back with that same energy in the third period.
I have to agree with you there. Definitely a game of runs, and I think these next, maybe 4 minutes to open the third quarter, maybe the most important of the entire game. This game could go one of two ways pretty much. Either Baruch can extend this 9-point lead that they come into the second half with, or York is going to really make this into a game, and it's going to be a back-and-forth game going into the final few minutes of the third quarter into the fourth.
Yeah, and it's important for the Bearcats to get back to being aggressive because, scoring 20 points, allowing six points, but then allowing the York Cardinals to get more comfortable in their game, putting up 13 points. Yeah, they matched them and was able to put up 8 points, but if the more and more the York women get comfortable and they're able to go ahead, get rebounds, get more shots up, it can only lead to problems for the Bearcats. So it's important for them to come out with that energy. And with the full team back on the court, with Daniel Arias, Melinda Spyhu, Maria Marianthopoulos, Jacqueline Thamakun, and Shannon Barrett, they look to find that same energy and that same chemistry they had in the first period.
Now, you bring up Melinda Spyhu, and I guess, she went to the bench with like 5 and change remaining here in that second quarter due to the 3 early fouls. Would you attribute any of maybe Baruch's struggles to her coinciding with her going to the bench?
I mean, you'd have to because, she's now has 6 points. She's has 7 rebounds and 3 assists, but it's her aggression that has been able to make the York Cardinals collapse their defense and be able to kick out and find the open man every now and then.
She's only on the scoring sheet, for 3 steals. However, I think she's had a bigger impact at the defensive end than just that.
Yeah, and, especially, being aggressive and actually catching the rebound. Like she had that one play right underneath the rim when she caught the rebound and got thrown right off to the York Cardinals women's player. And just that aggression and that focus to continuously play at that high level can only bode well for the Baruch Bearcats. So with the whole team playing together, because it's not only her, you have Danielle Arias coming in with 7 points, 1 rebound and 1 assist. And Shannon Barrett, having 12 points, 5 rebounds and 3 assists, holding her player, boxing out and being able to be that defensive force on the defensive end, but also coming back down on the offensive end and being good. But also getting to the foul line and actually getting to the rim more. We've seen a lot of threes from the Bearcats in that second period.
We saw they definitely got away from what was working for them in the first, which was a little disconcerting because of the fact that they were able to break down that zone, get into that foul line, and really distribute from that position.
Yeah, and when you move away from what you've done in the first period, you kind of fall back into old habits. And, he's only able to produce 8 points. But just to have a glimpse of what you can do from the first period, I think they can remember that and bring that same energy. They should be able to be fine and just continue to produce more points. And to have the other players just put up some shots,
Yeah.
The best thing you could do is just give it a shot, throw it up the shot at the basket and see what happens and see if it falls. And they've been doing that fairly well so far. They're shooting 31% from the field as opposed to York's 24%.
Yeah, but I think what we've seen from York, especially in that second quarter, is their defense definitely was something that they emphasized throughout a couple of timeouts as well as the stoppage after the first. A lot more lateral movement, side to side, able to follow the ball from corner to corner and get their hands up in passing lanes, I think has been big and has led to some of the mistakes that Baruch have made here in the second.
Yeah, but even on the defensive end for the Bearcats, even though the York Cardinals were able to go in there and get some points, the Baruch Bearcats have been playing well on the defensive end, and it's just the fact that when they get back onto what they've been doing in the first period on the offensive end and play that complete game.
Definitely don't want to settle for threes and definitely get more in the paint. They were really good at getting opportunities from the free throw line and in to create better shot opportunities. So we are moments away from the second half. Baruch lead 28-19. You're watching Baruch basketball on YouTube channel Baruch Athletic Fan. It's going to be the same 5 for Baruch. It's going to be Thamakun, Arias, Spyhu, Marianthopoulos, and Barrett. And it'll be the same 5 for York: Rosado, Paul, Bellamy, Cadogan, and Jackson. And it'll be Baruch's ball on the far side with Marianthopoulos get set to inbound. And Arias will have it in the front court for the Bearcats. She's quickly double teamed, and once again we see this York team swarming to the ball defensively. Now the ball goes side to side. And as you see that pass from Arias to Thamakun, a little bit behind her where she had the open three, you need those passes to be a little more crisp in order to create shot opportunities, as Spayu's shot is deflected and a little sloppy here on the offensive end from Baruch. Now Arias will drive. Bounce pass to Thamakun is kicked. Bounce pass to Marianthopoulos. And it'll be Baruch's ball on the far side with 15 on the shot clock.
Yeah, definitely not how you want to come out with a little bit of miscommunication in the first opening period. But, let's see what the Bearcats can do and get back to what they normally do.
Shannon Barrett, elbow jumper, no good. Rebounded by Spayu. Nice save there by Melinda Spayu. And once again, one of the things that definitely won't show up on the stat sheet, but she's done that 2 or 3 times tonight. We're saving the ball from going out of bounds. And that leads to a Shannon Barrett 3. Second chance opportunities and able to make the York College pay.
And that's why you always stay active right there. Spayu was able to save the pass right there from going out of bounds, get that rebound, and generate a three-pointer for Shannon Barrett right there. Good play by the Bearcats.
And actually, it's a little bit of a different lineup for York as Mayan, Charles, Ahmed, and Jacome start the second half. And Charles's baseline jumper is no good. And Shannon Barrett will bring it into the front court. Arias corner 3, around and out. And that's rebounded by York, almost thrown away though by Nikesha Pauls, able to bring it right into the lane. Sidesteps Barrett, no good. Rebounded by Shannon Barrett. Actually, no, it's tipped away. And Thamakun comes up with the loose ball. Spayu has it now for the Bearcats. Bounce pass to Arias. She thinks about the shot. Bounce back over to Barrett. And some of the passes for Baruch so far in the early part of the third quarter have definitely been a little short, I would say. Shannon Barrett's 3. That's good. Able to knock down back-to-back threes to start. And we talked about it. How are the first 3 to 4 minutes really going to go for the Bearcats? And Shannon Barrett's able to knock down 2 threes.
Yeah, just putting up shots and staying aggressive. Shannon Barrett with back-to-back threes from the same spot on the court.
Mayan Charles' shot doesn't hit anything, and it's going to go out of bounds. Nice inside-out play there between Ahmed and Charles. Just the shot was, about 3 feet too short.
Yeah, and Jacqueline Thamakun has something to do with that on that play. Good way to get your hand up.
And not foul.
Right.
Arias has it now in the front court, almost tipped away by Jacome, and it actually is tipped away by Jacome. Arias on the ball. It's going to be a jump ball between her and Rosado. And it'll go, the possession arrow points to York. Big play there by York to get the ball back.
And an even better play by Arias, because had the York got the ball back in that play, that was an easy layup going straight to the rim on the fast break.
The dangerous part is Arias has now turned the ball over 6 times, so you definitely want to hold on to the ball a little better as the team's dominant ball handler. As that pass there by Barrett's thrown away, looking for Danielle Arias. Inside now to Ahmed for York. She hits and is able to finish over Barrett for the and 1, and has an opportunity to cut it back to a 12-point lead with 7.5 remaining here in the third. And Ahmed at the line for the old school 3-point play. Her free throw is short. And it's going to be a lane violation. Rarely see that, and that's just bad judgment and lack of focus, because there's no reason for that at all, especially when the shot looked short from our point of view. And she's able to knock down the free throw, and that is, those are the focused. Wow. You rarely see that, and then she hits the shot, and York has a lane violation, so it stays at a 13-point game. Dangerous pass there by Arias to Spayu. Back up to Arias now. Arias going to drive, gives it off to Spayu inside, out to Marianthopoulos. Cross-court pass to Barrett. Now her pass to Thamakun, baseline jumper, way short. And Bellamy into the front court for York. As Thamakun hits the deck, but Barrett comes away with the rebound. Over to Spayu now. Spayu getting chased down by Ahmed. Able to lay it in, though. Nice play there by Melinda Spayu as Baruch able to hit him on the transition play.
The Baruch Bearcats have come out on the offensive end and playing solid so far.
Bellamy out over Jacome. Jacome goes around Arias. Goes right into the lane. High arcing layup with the right hand. Nice move there by Jacome.
Good way to turn the body right there and get the shot up.
And Arias getting quickly double teamed at half court. Spayu now over to Marianthopoulos. Her jumper is no good. Rebounded by Bellamy. by Charles. Now it's up to Bellamy into the front court. She steps around Arias. Gets her own rebound and able to finish. Now Thamakun in the front court for Baruch. Over to Arias, up to Barrett, and Barrett will slow it up. Arias into Marianthopoulos. Low pass there by Spayu. Almost turned it over. Now Spayu goes baseline. Ball's tipped away, and it'll stay with Baruch underneath. As Juliet Matthews comes in for York, and Lisette DeBoard in for the Bearcats.
Yeah, Lisette DeBoard. Substitution right now for the Bearcats in that second period, coming in and giving the Bearcats a lot of good minutes on the defensive end.
Able to fight on the glass, too, for a couple crucial rebounds.
Right.
As Spayu has it up top now. Gives it off to Barrett. Barrett's right wing three. Off back rim. And they're definitely settling for the three. After the first, they've settled for the three on a number of occasions, the Bearcats have.
Yeah, but, when you come out you come out the first half and you shoot 2 threes and it goes down, you may be feeling a little bit. But now maybe a different approach coming down the court on this play here.
And I think you just want to have more effective possessions, as Shannon Barrett's pass is almost tipped away by the half-court pressure from York. Marianthopoulos has it now. Arias gives it off to Spayu inside. And that's going to be an offensive foul, and that's Spayu's fourth. And that's, I think, going to coach. Is that going to force Kelly and Barrett's hand? Nope. Coach Barrett's going to keep the same lineup in.
Hey, you got to trust your players sometimes. And to see if they can play out there on the court with 4 fouls. One more foul could send her out the game. But let's see if she can hold her composure and be solid for the Bearcats down the stretch here. They need her out there.
She's been definitely an X factor in the game. Definitely a lot of the hustle plays and some of the 50-50 plays that she's been making have benefited the Bearcats immensely. Well, that looked like a travel there by Matthews, and I think she even knows she got away with one. 3-pointers around and out by Salas for York. That was a very interesting dribble there by Matthews as Barrett's double teamed, and she throws the ball away. Visibly frustrated is Shannon Barrett. And that's going to be a timeout for Baruch. So a little halfway through this third quarter, 4:59 remaining. On YouTube channel, Baruch Athletic Fan. Baruch lead 36-25. And Jamal, we talked about how important these first 5 minutes of this third quarter is going to be. What have you seen from the Bearcats that you liked, and maybe some of the stuff that you've seen that you maybe haven't liked?
So far for the Bearcats, came in out very, very aggressive on the offensive end. Shannon Barrett came out with 2 3-pointers from the same spot on the court, and you had Spayu getting that open entry pass and being able to get that layup all the way to the rim. But it's just a little. But for the Bearcats, it's going to be a matter of not settling for the 3, getting more into the paint, and creating more shots for all the other players on the court, and trying to get past this York's defense that's actually pressuring them every point of the court, You had that miscommunication on that last play where Shannon Barrett just had to give up the ball, but Marianthopoulos couldn't track it down. So we're just going to see how they're going to play, right, going in to these last couple minutes. And it's going to be important for them to play together and just try to get through this defense right here because it's pressuring them right now.
And I think they've had a problem a little bit with York's zone defensively because, nice block there by Barrett, emphatic on Jacome, and it's going to go off York last, and it'll come back to Baruch. Nice play there by Shannon Barrett. But I think Baruch's had a little bit of trouble with the half-court pressure because we've seen on a number of occasions. You saw Shannon Barrett throw the ball away there, but we've also seen a couple tip passes and some dangerous passes as Baruch have come across the timeline.
Anytime you see a team pressuring, you may see that pass there in that split second, but it could go very quickly and they can no longer be there.
Melinda Spayu now over to Arias, corner 3. That's short, but Spayu on the rebound. Back to Arias. Her floater off glass, no good, but she hits the deck and is fouled, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2. Also, what I've seen Baruch doing, which is not, I don't think ideal, they're not sharing the ball as much as they were in the first quarter. You're seeing a lot between Spayu, Arias, and Barrett so far here in the third quarter.
Yeah, you don't want to start playing hero ball early on in the game. You have a lot. There's one more period left in this game, and you just want to continue to see it play together because once you have everybody involved, the defense can't just lock in on a few players. They have to account for everybody on the court.
And outside of Arias, Spayu, and Barrett, only Thamakun has points so far this evening. And that's a 3 from Salas. That's no good. It's going to be rebounded by Baruch, and Barrett's going to be picked up at the full 94 feet. Her pass into the front court for Marianthopoulos. Layup's no good. Too strong. But there's a foul on It's going to be on number 11, Victoria Salas. And he'll send Maria Marianthopoulos to the line to shoot 2. Nice aggressive play there once Marianthopoulos gets the ball. And she's able to knock down the first free throw.
And it's not even getting that pass from Shannon Barrett in the front court. It's just staying with it and continuously fighting, you know. It's always those little things that's going to help you win the game, you know. Even when you're not as involved in the game, you do the little things. Whether it be tracking down rebounds, playing hard defense, and on that play, she's rewarded with the opportunity to get 2 shots at the free throw line.
So she only hits 1, though, and then now it'll be York into the front court with Paul. Paul's double-teamed. Out to Matthews. Now Jacome. Salas, he thinks about the 3. It's off back rim. The board fights for that board. But it'll be Bellamy that comes away with it. It's going to be an offensive foul. Let's set the board, hits the deck hard, and it looks like Bellamy is falling on the back of her legs, and it'll just take a second for DeBoard to get up as she's holding her left elbow.
I don't know. While she was on the floor just now, she just had a face that she was just wincing, but she just got right back up with a smile and just kept running up the court.
She made a few of those hustle plays tonight. She has 7 boards, even though she has yet to record a basket. Definitely a little bit, and that's going to be a travel on Arias. Back to let's at the board. She's definitely been doing a lot of the little things, and almost in the same manner that Melinda Spayu's been doing.
Right. And it's important for the different players on the court, you know, coming off the bench and just playing your role, you know.
I'd like to see a little more offensively from some of the role players here on Baruch. As Bellamy has it now. Nice pivot there. She's working on Arias. Cross-court pass to Salas. Now into Matthews. Matthews drives, trying to go over Barrett. No good. Rebounded by Marianthopoulos. And she's tied up, and it'll go back to Baruch. That looked like more like she got him on the arm. I didn't really see a jump ball there, but it'll be Baruch's ball with 3:27 remaining in a 14-point lead. And now the ball swung out to Spayu, now into Barrett. And this is where you want to see Barrett. You want to see her inside the paint. As Arias goes in hard, she's fouled, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2. Also there, you want to see Arias look a little bit backdoor because it looked like she had Marianthopoulos and the board on the weak side.
But yeah, let's go back to what you were talking about a minute ago, where it's Barrett, Spyhu, and Arias kind of playing the game. They're kind of like just looking for each other.
3-man game a little bit.
Yeah, but especially on that play, staying aggressive, not settling for the 3, but going in straight to the rim and, you know, generating an opportunity at the free throw line. I think it's important for the Bearcats to continuously do that. And like you said, Shannon Barrett, she's made 2 good threes in this opening period, but getting back down low and asserting herself down there is where the Baruch Bearcats could be very effective.
Agreed. And the thing that amazes me is she's the tallest person on the court by 2 inches. So why haven't you utilized her more in the block? Because I think she would have a really good opportunity to dominate, especially with that nice left-hand move that she has. Paul has it now, and she moves that pivot foot a little too fancy there from Nikesha Paul.
Yeah.
And it'll go back to Baruch as they inbound right in front of the York bench.
And with the ref right there looking at it, you're not going to get away with that one.
It's just sloppy, though. It's an unnecessary turnover when you're trying to claw yourself back into the game. This could be a huge swing here if Baruch's able to capitalize. Inside to DeBoard. DeBoard can't finish, though, and I think her and Barrett both went for the rebound, and now it'll be Bellamy into the front court for York. And she's fouled on the layup opportunity by Marianthopoulos, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2. But a real missed opportunity there from Baruch at the offensive end.
Yeah, you know, especially for the Bearcats right there, you know. But it's good to see your other role players go ahead and be aggressive on the offensive end. Just even if it's putting up a shot, just get them to build a little bit more confidence. So when they get the pass the next time, they'll just get ready to put up that shot again. You know, hopefully it'll drop.
It's almost a catch-22, Jamal, because you want them to build confidence and get into a rhythm. But if they're not hitting some of the shots that they personally know that they can hit, it may also break down your confidence a little bit when you're trying to, you know, make plays in the last few minutes of the game.
Yeah, but it's always about staying mentally tough, you know, because not every shot you're going to make is going to fall. Even sometimes when you think you have it, it can just rim out. But it's always getting that other opportunity to go right back at it and just putting up that shot.
Agree. Being prepared the next time they come to you, because your number will get called again.
Right.
Especially with, you know, a little bit, with more than a quarter left here in the game. And Baruch, as we've seen tonight, only going 6 deep, so you're definitely going to get your minutes as the board has it now. Now Barrett over to Arias. Arias dribbles right, almost slips and falls, but gives off to Barrett, and Barrett will get fouled outside, so it'll be a 1-and-1 for Shannon Barrett.
And currently tonight she's shooting 50%. So let's see if she can knock down these two and extend that Bearcat lead, because now having a good quarter so far, you know, being able to put up 13 points, allowing the York Cardinals to only 7, they now enjoy a 16-point lead.
And Barrett only goes 1 of 2 for the line to make the lead 16, 2.5 remaining here in the third. York have it now. Gives it off to Paul. Paul over to Jacome. Swings it over to Rocher. Rocher over to Bellamy. If they swung that a little quicker, I think Bellamy would have had an opportunity at the corner 3. Now into Ahmed. Nice move there, able to use her size and finish over the taller Barrett.
Yeah, Ahmed so far as she's been in the game has been battling with Barrett and has been able to come up with a lot of good plays for the York College, having 8 points tonight.
And Barrett's 3 is short off near rim, and then it's rebounded. It looks like Ahmed comes away with it and gives it to Bellamy, who pushes it into the front court. Step back jumper from Bellamy. That's good. And York able to cut the deficit to 12. As Shannon Barrett will try to bring it into the front court. She'll walk it over the timeline.
Yeah, especially with the period about to be over. It's good for the Bearcats to get some points in.
Ooh, and nice play there by Daniela Arias. Able to go hard with the right hand, tripped up, but she's able to finish, and she'll go to the line for the and 1, and able to potentially extend this game lead back to 15.
And a good way to answer the last 2 buckets by the York Cardinals. So now we're going to see Arias at the line for one more shot. But we're going back to that aggression right there. Getting to the rim and getting past this York defense right now.
And Arias able to knock down the free throw, so that'll be a 3-point play for her. And that'll take her up to 14 points, trailing only Barrett for the Baruch scoring. Trailing only Barrett for everyone scoring. York and Baruch combined, as now Paul has it in the corner. She drives right hand floater, no good. Ball's tipped around. It'll be Lissette the board again as she's knocked down. And Barrett quickly over to help her up. Lissette the board. That's her 8th board of the game so far. And I think she's going to go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. And it's going to be a timeout for York and Coach Bittis. So with 1:19 remaining, Baruch 45, York 30. You're watching Baruch basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Athletic Fan. Don't forget. Moravian. Be able to catch all of that live here at the Arc Arena, and we'll be live on YouTube channel Baruch Athletic Fan. So Jamal, losing a close game last night to Purchase by 8 points, you have to like how Baruch has come out and really rebounded from that loss last night.
No, the way they're coming out tonight and playing, they're playing like a team that's been coming together. You know, it seemed, coming off the first game where it was a really tough loss, and then last night only losing by, the prior game only losing by 8, and to be up 15 right now, potentially going into the final period. We have a minute 19 left remaining in this third period. You have to be good and feel good about yourself if you're the Bearcats right now.
And also, until last night, they had 2 weeks off between their first game and their second game of the season. So a lot of practice time, a lot of time to really refine their game and really come together chemistry-wise as a team, which could be as big as, playing the game itself. DeBoard at the line for 2.
And that's the most.
She misses the first.
And that's the most important thing. You're playing a one-on-one game. It's just you and yourself. But when you're playing with a team, you got to understand how everybody works, where everybody needs to get the ball to be productive. So a lot of practice time can only bode well for these Bearcats.
And Lissette the board able to hit the second. Now Bellamy will bring it into the front court as they roll it up. Interesting, Spyu still in the game, up 16 at this point because, you probably need her late, and she's working on those 4 fouls. 3-pointer there by Rocher is no good, and Barrett has it now. Crossover move on Bellamy. She gets double-teamed, though, by Jacome, able to pass it into Spyu into the front court. Marion Thopoulos to Arias. Inside to Spyu. Over to the board. That's off. Rebounded by Rocher for York. We come into the final minute here in the third quarter. Nikesha Paul into the front court. Gives it off to Jacome. Over to Bellamy. Bellamy thinks about the shot. It'll be the board on her. Trying to bounce it inside. It's going to be a jump ball. And the ball is going to stay with York College. But once again, nice hustle defensive play there by Melinda Spyu.
That's why you keep her out there on the court, that play right there, just being able to grab that ball, it could have been a foul, but luckily the coach trusts her, and it wasn't a foul.
And the board able to rebound there. And the foul's going to be on Melinda Spayo, and that might be her afternoon.
That has to be tough. And now the York.
Melinda Spayo fouling out with 30 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. And that could be tough moving forward if you're Baruch. So Melinda Spayo ending her day today. She had 8 points, 11 boards, 3 steals, and 3 assists. And now Baruch will have to go forwards with her, probably with this 5 because they've yet to use anybody else off the bench as Arias' 3 is off. And with 8 seconds left, Baruch will get the final opportunity as the ball went off York last, 46-30. And now at this point, you probably maybe lost either your best defender or your second best defender in the early going. And you're going to have to see how some of these other girls can really step up and fill that void.
Yeah, her production so far tonight, 8 points and 11 rebounds. It's going to be it's going to be a collective effort for the team to pull this one out.
And as we say that, Shannon Barrett able to knock down the 3. And after 3, Baruch 49, York 30. You're watching Baruch Basketball Channel. Baruch Athletic Fan.
It starts right when you hit the court. You imagine your finest moment. The game-winning shot that gets you to the dance. A monster dunk or no-look pass. And cutting down the net. Sports lets us dream of our own success. And prepare us for our finest moments on and off the court.
For the love of the game. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make it.
And welcome back. Going into the fourth, Baruch 49, York 30, and a big 3 there, Jamal, at the end of the quarter by Shannon Barrett. But I think the more disturbing news is that Melinda Spayo fouled out before the third quarter even finished, and arguably your best defensive player, definitely an X factor in this game.
Yeah, she's played big for the Bearcats tonight, contributing with 8 points and 11 rebounds. But Shannon Barrett and Daniela Arias have been carrying this team as well, with 14 points for Daniela Arias, and Shannon Barrett with 22 points and 10 rebounds and also 3 assists, and shooting 5 for 11 from the 3-point line. So now with this final period, it's going to be the Bearcats are going to have to play together and just close out this game because right now they enjoy a comfortable 19-point lead. But with 10 minutes remaining in this game, you never know how fast that can go.
I think this would be a good test. So Baruch will inbound right in front of the scorer's table. It'll be Marianthopoulos. And you'd have to assume it's this 5 moving forward for the rest of the game as Barrett able to drive. Left-hand floater is good. Able to knock it down baseline, 51-30. And it'll be Jacome to the front court for York. Gives off to Bellamy right inside to number 32, Ivana Redwood, her first action of the game tonight. And that's going to be a travel on number 23, Allison Ahmed.
Good way by Marianthopoulos right there, not giving up any space, utilizing and defending on that play and causing the turnover. But you gotta love Shannon Barrett's production right now.
And it's going to be a lot on her, moving forward in order to get this W, just because she's been the primary ball handler. She's probably one of our best scorer. And on top of that, she has to take a lot of the load on defense. As Lissette, the board gets tied up underneath, it's going to be a jump ball, and it's going to go back to York College. Very interesting breakdown. I don't know if you caught it there by Anastasia Bittis talking about Shannon Barrett's game. Obviously, being a lefty, she's very dominant left hand. They definitely do want to force her right, and that's going to be a travel on number 5, Nikesha Paul. So at some point, York could also shoot themselves in the foot so much that they're not even going to have a chance to cut into this deficit at all. And Baruch's been looking pretty good at the defensive end.
Yeah, all they've been doing so far is just standing their ground, and what a good way for Daniela Rice to get back to the lane on that play.
Then she'll have a chance to get another and one. Third opportunity of the game, only converting one of them so far.
So far right now for the Bearcats, although they've been getting a lot of production from Shannon Barrett and Daniela Rice so far, especially with these last 2 points in the opening period, the rest of the Bearcats are playing well. On that last play, you have Marian Thopoulos causing that turnover. You have Lissette the board on the boards, currently at 9 rebounds off the bench. They're playing a well-rounded game and just playing their roles and helping out their team any way they can.
And the foul there is on number 14, Daniela Arias, her 4th, and now Baruch has some more foul trouble to worry about. And the ball is thrown away as Arias has it. It's going to be a jump ball, and the ball is going to go back to Baruch. Nice play there to come back from that foul, and not afraid to go right back in there and tie up for the jump ball.
Yeah, the Bearcats on that play, on every defensive possession so far, has been playing very well and holding their ground and not giving up any space.
Arias shoots a wild layup that's tipped. And it's going to be a jump ball again, but it'll go back to York. They're talking over underneath. Yep, it's going to be a jump ball. I think one ref had a foul call there. One ref had a jump ball, and it'll be jump ball, York's ball going the other way.
Yeah, and especially –
and now York will roll it into the front court to be Rosado. She actually has an open shot if she was, willing to take it there, but she gives it off to Bellamy. Paul. She travels, and she's done that a few times, almost stuttering the feet a little bit before she puts the ball on the floor.
Yeah, not wondering if she should just pull up and shoot on that play because you had to defend. You had the York offensive player just blocking off the Baruch defensive player, and it was like a wide open 3 ready for you right there.
So Arias has it now, gives it off to Marian Thopoulos. Barrett heavily guarded in the paint. Marian Thopoulos hard off glass. She's looking for the foul call. No call, and now you have to get back because York has numbers. Paul gets blocked by Barrett. Nice play there. And Paul, you can see limping under the basket, but Arias quickly into the front court. Pull-up jumper off glass, around and out. But Arias' foul looks like she was smacked in the lip there on the follow-through, and she'll be able to go to the line for 2 shots. So with 8:04 remaining here in the 4th, Baruch leads 54-30.
One thing that's been great for the Bearcats so far is their aggression. Shannon Barrett and Daniela Rice on the offensive end have just been playing great, but collectively as a team on the defensive end, causing the York players to either second-guess what they're going to do, cause the turnovers, and just get back out in the open floor on the other end.
And York hasn't really helped themselves out today, shooting 24% from the field for the game. So, you're only shooting yourself in the foot when you can't hit make shots. You're only shooting 1 out of every 4. It's going to be tough to win basketball games as Arias misses both the free throws. 54-30, Baruch lead. Jacome has it now. Pass over to number 32. Excuse me, sorry. Devonda Redwood. My apologies. And Daniela Arias now has it, brings it into the front court over to Marian Thopoulos. Marian Thopoulos, baseline jumper. Hits the rim twice, rebounded though by Barrett. She's fouled, hits the deck hard. Very interesting play right there. And I don't know if you caught that, Jamal. I saw you look down for a second. Redwood went to go help Barrett up, and Rosado pushed Redwood away, which, I mean, it's the old argument, sportsmanship versus competition. I love that aspect of it. I think, when you're between the lines, outside of the game, you can go out, have lunch, be friends with each other, grab a coffee, whatever. Inside the lines, there's a reason the teams wear opposite colored jerseys.
That's true.
So,
that is true.
I understand you're getting, in a big blowout like this, 23-point game, maybe it is nice to help out the other team, but you also want to keep that mentality going because it is the beginning of the season if you're York College.
No, I agree. You want to definitely set a tone, but when you're also getting blown out, it also sets a bad tone and maybe seems like you're just a little bit frustrated,
Yeah. And now Barrett has it for Baruch, her jumper. That's good. Shannon Barrett really heating up here in the fourth quarter. She now has 27 points and 11 boards. Bellamy now, free throw line jumper. That's good, able to rattle that one home. Baruch up by 23 with 7 minutes remaining. And it's funny because in these situations, the clock can't go, fast enough for Baruch, and the clock can't go slow enough right now for York College. So Thamakun's free throw line jumper, that's off. Rebounded by Redwood. Into the front court now is Jacome. She goes right in, wild layup, and she travels.
Yeah, at that point she was behind the rim, and then.
Either way, it was going to be a travel or an out of bounds. It's
a
turnover regardless. So, because she looked back befuddled almost with the referee's call. I'm like, either way, you didn't get fouled, so he's either going to be off the back of the glass for out of bounds, or you can take the travel. But either way, poor play there by Jacome. And now Thamakun has it in the front court.
And it was just interesting what you were saying, the clock just can't stop, just can't go fast enough for the Bearcats and can't slow down for the York Cardinals, Right now with the Bearcats holding this lead, playing defense and solid defense, just getting back after every play is the most important thing.
So it's going to be a 30-second timeout, I believe, by Coach Barrett. So with 6.5 minutes remaining, Baruch lead 57-34. You're watching Baruch Bearcats basketball live on YouTube channel, Baruch Athletic Fan. Don't forget to stay tuned. We're going to have a little intermission between the two games. You'll see some of the warm-ups. But definitely stay tuned because about 20 minutes after the conclusion of this game, the men will be coming out to face off against the men York College Cardinals in a game that I think the men definitely need to win after dropping 3 straight at the Carnegie Mellon tournament in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it's always a great start to start off with a 2-0 record, coming straight out the gate. But to drop 3, you don't want to continue that trend throughout the season. Even though it's very early on, you want to stop that in its track and get back to winning.
And I think a great opportunity to do it here is because you have a conference game at home, and I think the home game, when you're playing on your own floor, should definitely help you out as the ladies have the ball in the front court for Baruch. Marion Thopoulos over to Arias. She takes the double pick for Marion Thopoulos and Barrett. Marion Thopoulos again puts it on the floor, but a little too late because she took a couple steps first. It'll be a traveling against Baruch. And Nikesha Paul gets the ball. She has it in the front court, gives it off to Bellamy. Bellamy's shot is off back rim. It's not going to be Nikesha Paul on the rebound. It's going to be a jump ball between her and Marion Thopoulos, and it'll go back to the Bearcats with 6 minutes remaining.
Yeah, and there's 6 minutes remaining, and the Bearcats being up by 23. They have definitely answered the call from that first period. That first half coming out in the second half, and definitely putting in a lot of work right now.
And that defense that we've seen mostly throughout the game, but second half defense has been really good. As I say that, of course, transition bucket the other way for York, but only 17 points allowed here in the second half, and only obviously 36 for the game. Is just a great defensive output from the Baruch Bearcats, something they definitely needed after letting up 95 in their first game and then 50 last night.
And it definitely have to be attributed to Shannon Barrett with 27 points and 11 boards on the night and 4 blocks on the defensive end.
And Danielle Arias having her best game of the season with a solid 17 points.
17 points on the offensive end, and adding with that 6 steals on the defensive end.
The foul there on Baruch, number 12, Jacqueline Thamaku, and it'll send number 5, Nikesha Paul, to the line to shoot 2. And off around the rim and off on the first.
Yeah, and with the York Cardinals shooting 27% from the field, they're also shooting 27% from free throw. It's just not a good night for them from the field nor the free throw line.
So Baruch leads by 20 as Shannon Barrett's double teamed in the backcourt. Gives it off to Marianthopoulos. Handoff trying to find Arias on the open pass. Able to hit her back door. And Arias will slow it up for the Bearcats. Arias getting pressure there by Redwood. Kicks it out to Barrett. Marianthopoulos' deep jumper off glass. No good. Rebounded by York. And Bellamy will able to bring it into the front court.
Yeah, Baruch Bearcats just have to get back on that play. And we have a travel.
Number 21, Karen Bellamy.
And who other but Lisette DeBoard standing right there, being able to stand there, take the hard hit, and causing that turnover for the Bearcats.
Their 11th turnover of the half, 27th of the game, and that's got to be a huge talking point for Coach Bissett. Bittis, after this game. So Tuesday night, they're at the Lady Bearcats are at City College. What are some of the things that you've seen from this game, Jamal, that you really think that they could take into the game on Tuesday night?
I think all the role players playing their part and playing solid defense. Like you've seen tonight, Lisette DeBoard coming off the bench and getting 9 rebounds. You had Jacqueline Thamakoun early on getting a couple points early on in the game. You know, Marianthopoulos causing a couple turnovers on the in this period particularly on the defensive end. And just getting production from Shannon Barrett and Daniela Rice tonight, who have 28 points and 17 points respectively. And Melinda Spyu playing another productive game, an all-around game. And tonight finishing with 8 points and 11 rebounds and 3 assists.
Definitely have to have a little more control, though, over the foul problems because
right.
I think that defensively you're not going to see really much of it because of the fact they had such a huge lead when she did foul out.
Right.
But in closer games, that could be such a detriment to the team. And now Barrett has it. She drives left. Kicks it out to Marianthopoulos, and that's going to be a travel on Barrett. It'll go back to York, who trail by 18 with 4 minutes left. And, a couple possessions here and a couple stops for York, and they could cut this to, maybe a 10-point single-digit game if Baruch's not careful.
Yeah, the Baruch Bearcats definitely have to use this clock on their time, use the clock to their advantage, and just play good defense.
And also, if York's going to give them possessions like that, it's going to help out Baruch in the long run, as York once again throws it away, making it their 28th turnover of the game.
And you have to take advantage of possessions like that because those are just gimmies for you right there.
And Shannon Barrett having a great game, but, they'll see these York Cardinals again this year. They'll see a bunch of their conference foes before the season ends. How do you think that, maybe the defense will change against Shannon Barrett now that, once through a couple of games into the season?
Right now, we've seen that Shannon Barrett was able to hit down 5 of 12 three-pointers tonight. So I think what's going to be the defensive change on the York side, we're just forcing her to shoot more three-pointers and not get a lot of possessions inside the paint.
You think you're saying that was their strategy, or you think
that
moving
should be
forward?
Moving forward.
I mean, 5 of 12 is still a respectable number from three. You're shooting over 40% at that point, and I was actually surprised that Shannon Barrett didn't get into the paint as much as she should have or could have in this game. And I mean, of course, the scoreboard doesn't really reflect that, but that she's off on a 3 there. But Lisette DeBoard, her 10th rebound. Keep saying Lisette DeBoard grabs a board, and it's just a lot of boards. But nice play there by Lisette DeBoard, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2.
She's been getting a whole bunch of boards tonight. And the Baruch Bearcats tonight, 51 rebounds. Both Melinda Spyu, Lisette DeBoard, and Shannon Barrett in double figures in rebounds tonight.
And Claudia Roden quick to check back into the game for the Lady Cardinals. And it's good to see her back after she took that. I mean, she came out of the halftime locker room with a bag of ice on her head. She had a bubble, it looked like, when we saw her walk by to go to the half and when she got elbowed. So it's good to see that she'll be coming back into the game. So it'll be a 30-second timeout for the York Cardinals. Baruch lead 58-40 with 3:17 remaining here in the game. You're watching Baruch Basketball live on channel Baruch Athletic Fan. So in terms of starting off conference play, great way to do it here at home with an 18-point lead with 3.5 remaining here in the game.
Yeah, the Baruch Bearcats have only been getting better, you know, after the tough loss in their last game, coming out tonight, coming out with a strong start, you know, with a 14-point lead, you know, coming out a little rocky in the second period and solidifying their lead in the third period. With 3 minutes left in this game, they have an opportunity to close out this game tonight.
As a whole, though, you definitely want to see Baruch shoot a little bit better than the 29% that they've shot tonight as a team. Even Shannon Barrett, who leads the team with scoring with 28 points, is 9 for 23. So altogether as a team, you definitely want to see a little bit more high percentage shots and able to knock it down, especially after that high-flying first quarter that they had. Now Redwood over to Roden. Roden thinking about the three. She pulls it up. And that doesn't hit. Ball saved, looked like, by Redwood, but it's tipped right to Marion Thopoulos. Barrett has it now. She's double-teamed. Daniela Arias gets the ball. She brings it into the front court. And she's fouled by Redwood. And that'll send Arias to the line. At this point, you slow the game down, able to knock down some of these free throws, and really nothing else York can do about it.
Yeah, right now as it stands, with the 18-point lead with 2 minutes and 56 minutes remaining in this game, if the Bearcats continue to knock down some threes, they'll be walking out of here victorious.
And Daniela Arias off on the first free throw. And don't forget to stay tuned. 20 minutes after the end of this game, tip-off for the men's game. We'll be on 5 minutes before that starts for a little bit of pregame action. And we'll also be on a few minutes after this game to have a little bit of a wrap-up as the men start their conference play against York College. Losers of 3 straight after a 2-0 start. So definitely, wouldn't say a must-win for the men, but start conference play with a loss would be very difficult for John Alisi and his team.
Yeah, definitely. You don't want to start off on a 4-game winning streak, especially coming off a good, solid 2-game winning streak. You just want to get back to winning, and hopefully the Bearcats will have an opportunity to do that tonight.
As Barrett able to catch on the free throw line and knock down the jumper. And Jamal, back to the men's side. You know, you look at this team and that they're preseason favorites to win the conference. If, for some reason, they don't win the conference, these non-conference games are going to be big in deciding whether or not they should get an at-large bid into the tournament at the end of the year. As you know, the conference tournament winner gets the free automatic bid. But all the other teams are playing for those at-large bids, and if you lose some of these games like they have against your non-conference opponents, it could be very costly at the end. So that's what almost puts more pressure on these conference games to make sure you have a high seed going into the tournament, to make sure if your non-conference schedule or non-conference results are not to your liking,
right,
you get that guaranteed spot, which it all starts tonight against your first conference game here against York.
No, I agree with all that, David. And most importantly, you know, every game matters, but in order to lock yourself up into the tournament to be able to play for that championship, conference games are key.
Yeah. Now Roden has it in the front court. Nice crossover move there. Roden has some nice guard skills. You know, a nice crossover move there, able to create but throw the ball away. And now Thamakun has it in the front court. Nice little crossover move to her, and then Arias will set it up. And that's a smart play there by Thamakun, not forcing the shot, taking the time, getting it in deep. Now Marion Thopoulos has it, gives it back up to Arias, and we'll see Jasmine Rodriguez come to the scorer's table to check in for the first time tonight as Marion Thopoulos' shot goes around and out. And Barrett able to get her own rebound after she misses on the first layup, knock it down. So a minute and a half left. Baruch leads 63-40.
And what a solid half for the Baruch Bearcats.
And that bounce pass inside there for Allison Ahmed. Defensively, you got to be very happy with Baruch only letting up a little more than 10 points in a quarter per quarter. It's going to win you a lot of ball games. As Arias fouled hard in the right around half court, trying to make sure she does not go to the backcourt violation. Fouls on number 21, Karen Bellamy.
And it's safe to say right now the Bearcats are on their way to their second win of the season. Oh, their first win of the season, sorry.
And once again, already losing those 2 out-of-conference games, these conference wins are even that much more important. And Jasmine Rodriguez getting her first minutes as Shannon Barrett comes to the bench. 32 points And 14 rebounds with 4 blocks for Shannon Barrett. What a game. Right knee and all. We said we had coming into the game. We'll see how she responds on that right knee. Jamal, I think she responded.
Yeah, especially tonight. As you said, 13 points and 14 rebounds. Guess she wasn't going to let her knee stop her. She's a tough girl, and she pushed through all night and played well for the Bearcats to get them their first win.
And we saw it a little bit in the second quarter where she was favoring that knee a little bit, but she's definitely responded after halftime and become a big reason why they've been able to open up this lead to 22. Now Arias has it, gives it off to Thamakun. 43 seconds remaining here in the game. Marian Thopoulos, she drives. She's blocked by Roden, and it'll stay with Baruch with 9 seconds remaining on the shot clock. And a nice all-around win. Definitely want to take this into City College on Tuesday and a chance to go, make that a nice 2-0 division conference start. Be huge, I think, for this Bearcat team, who maybe was lacking a little confidence after that first game. We saw the fight last night, and tonight we saw a team that was hungry to get the W.
And it was getting a little dicey early in the second period for them. After coming out with 20 points and just allowing 6 points in that first period, and the York Cardinals putting a lot of pressure on them. But this second half, they put together very good runs, putting up 36 points collectively. I know we have a couple seconds left in this game, but only allowing, like you said, the York Cardinals to only about 10 points per period.
And Danielle Arias knocks down both free throws. Also impressive from Baruch is they've had this is a wire-to-wire win from them. They took the lead from the first possession and have not relinquished it all game, which at that point really a team can really lose their focus. But it's nice to see that they've keep their composure, played with a lead the entire time, which is not very easy to do if you're not used to it. And this could definitely be a building block moving forward in the regular season.
No, I agree with you, David.
Thamakun has it now. And Baruch could just run out the clock, and this should do it. So what a great win here at the Arc Arena for the Lady Bearcats. Lady Bearcats 66, York College Cardinals 44, a 22-point victory to start off conference action. And Arias will just dribble it out. So that'll do it. And the final score, Baruch 66, York College 44. And what a way for the ladies to start off the regular season with conference play, with a huge 22-point win.
Yeah, especially seen in the first period, coming out with that strong offensive play and just playing all around very well second half. This has been a great game for the Bearcats, and it's very encouraging going into their next game this Tuesday at Hunter.
City College.
I'm off today.
It's all right. Baruch being led tonight by Shannon Barrett, 32 and 14, one of 3 players in double digits for rebounds. Danielle Arias had 21 and 6 steals. Of course, you definitely want to limit some of those turnovers. She had 8 turnovers tonight. So as the point guard, definitely something to limit. So Jamal, what did you like tonight that you really want to see them take over to this game on Tuesday night that can really emphasize how they played tonight, but also give them a nice 2-0 lead here in the conference?
Staying aggressive on the offensive end. Shannon Barrett had a great night, putting up 32 points and 14 rebounds, and we always seen a lot of good play from Melinda Spy, who putting up 8 points and 11 rebounds. Although she did foul out, it's always good to see your players always stay aggressive and stick to their game. And also Daniela Arias with 21 points and also 6 steals on the defensive end. But most importantly, every player coming in and just playing their role. You had Lisette DeBoard coming in and giving up 8 and getting 11 rebounds. And you also had Thamakun, Marian Thopoulos also get rebounds on the defensive end. So if the role players can just play their role and get a lot of offensive production and just continuously be aggressive, get to the rim, and get to the open shots when they have them, they'll be a good team. They'll be great going forward.
And anytime you play a game where you're on defensively, you could force a team to commit 29 turnovers, you're going to have a great chance to win that game. And if they can play defense like this moving forward, I think it can make up for some of their lack of scoring from their secondary and tertiary players on the Lady Bearcats team. So we're about 24 and a half minutes away from the men's game against York College. Don't forget to tune in on Saturday, December 9th. Doubleheader. Women play Old Westbury, followed by the men home against Moravian College. So we're going to be back in 5 minutes before tip-off, approximately 19 minutes, to bring you a little pregame on the men's team. Once again, the Baruch Lady Bearcats 66, the Lady Cardinals of York College 44. A great way to start off conference play. We'll be back in 20 minutes.